I'm an idiot. I am an idiot, and I'll tell you in this video why am I an idiot. Because just recently, literally yesterday, I played my best of 3 versus Bly in the ESL Masters Winter Regionals Europe, my first opening tournament match, and I had everything planned. I knew what I want to do, I knew what Bly plays and how Bly plays. Bly is actually one of the players that I played the most against throughout my 13-year history in StarCraft 2. And I still failed to beat him, even though I knew exactly what he's going to be doing, because I am an idiot. So the series started on hard lead, where I blocked his hatchery. He went to the third hatch, to the natural, very, very standard. I was also considering he could go for a proxy hatch, but he didn't do it. And one of the first things that I did, like an idiot, is not block the links from going in. I know Bly likes to go in with the links. I know every time I shade my adept forward to do some harassment to the drones, I know Bly will always run in links with the like a counter attack to disrupt me as much as possible. But what I do, of course, I fail for that, and I'll show you how that happened and why that happened. So I spotted these links coming with the probe, and of course I know, okay, this is Bly. He's just going to try to run over. So that's okay. I continue scouting with the probes. I noticed another set of Zerglings, so total of 4 Zerglings already. I chrono boosted out my first adept, and I go with the adept to the other side of the map. Now, what I have prepared is I also show Bly that I'm coming back with this adept, so he doesn't run in with the links immediately. So he doesn't know if I complete the shade-in or if I stay with the adept here. So he stays a little bit longer with the links on the right side. But I know that he's not going to be running with the links because he's a smart player, so I do a wall off like this. I put a probe on hold here, just to put a pylon the moment he will try to run in with the links. Right here. This is what I try to do. This was the plan. This is what I knew that he is going to be doing. So I put on the pylon and I block the links. But what do I do? I know about these links. I scouted them. What do? I focus on the 2 links killing my probe on the other side of the map. I could be watching the minimap or whatever. I don't even save the probe, which is a big mistake already. And then I didn't get to block these links from going in. My adept goes forward, and now I'm wasting precious amount of time chasing the links that should not even get into my base. Of course, he scouts that I'm going for a Stargate in here. He knows that I'm not doing a wall cancel opening or whatever. And then I try to do some damage on the other side of the map with the adept, which is not so bad. Because I shade in here and I try to kill a drone. It doesn't one-shot the drone immediately. But I see additional set of links. For some reason there's another probe here because of course I had to misrally my probe. Because I am all stressed out. There's even another probe going in. That's already a big macro mistake from my part. But the game is not looking too bad, right? It's 30 probes to 24 drones. But this link is really, really annoying. So what do I do? Of course I send the adept to deal with that one Zergling. But not before I lose another probe. Zergling survives on 1 HP. Of course, I don't block my wall off here with the adepts. I have 2 adepts here. What are they doing? What are they doing? They're not blocking the wall off. So Bly sees this with the overload, so he just runs in another set of Zerglings. Now my entire build order, my entire plan just goes completely interrupted. It's just complete disaster. Of course, it's only a couple of Zerglings. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But of course, I send the adepts forward, not expecting more links. On the other side of the map, I was trying to find some damage with the Oracle. He had no drones here, so I find no damage whatsoever. I go in with the Oracle here. I see no Spore. I try to deal some damage with the Oracle, kill a drone or 2. I kill couple. But in the meantime, there's freaking more Zerglings in. While I had an adept in the main base, and of course I didn't plug in the wall. And Bly sees this all the time with the Overlord. So while on the other side of the map, I tried to do some damage to the drones with the adepts and the Oracle. I already let in 3 times Zerglings in a 4-minute game. This never, ever, ever happens in my games so early in the game. Even though I knew he's going to do this kind of stuff, and I still fail for it because of the stress of the tournament match. But the game continues on. And while this is pretty bad start for me, I still think this is kinda okay. In the meantime, I plug in the wall. I don't let the Zerglings in this time. I think I killed a couple of drones as well, which is not so bad. Like, it's 6 probes killed. That's like, it should be 0, but that's okay. And I killed 3 drones because he also invested into the Zerglings instead of drones. So I think this is still like a playable situation. The game kind of moves on. I block the links. a bit luckily, I was able to plug in the wall. The Zerglings don't cancel my third base, so I'm quite happy about that. I stay at home with 3 Oracles instead of being able to harass the Zerg player with the 3 Oracles. I'm playing completely defensive. In the meantime, Blight could easily run up to 41. I am only left with 1 single Adept blocking the wall off and pretty much no defense. So I fly out with the Oracles, try to do some harassment. What Blight does? Of course I know he's going to counterattack with the Lynx. He does that every single time. So I spot in the middle of the map, he's even moving in with the Queens. Right now, my thought process is like, okay, this is an all-in from Blight. I just need to hold this Queen Link all-in, and I should be fine. So I blocked the wall off with a pylon. This is very good, very nice, nicely done by me. Quick reaction. I stopped the Lynx with 2 Oracles. I didn't activate all 3 of them, so the micro is going well. I know the Queens are coming, so I fully prepare myself for the defense. The Cybernetic Core needs to be defended, so I turn on 1 Oracle to block the damage. I wait for the shield battery to finish. It's not finishing on time. I have no weapon available at this moment as well. So it's a bit tricky, because I thought he might be going to cancel my third base, so I put down a cannon and a battery here, which is all fine. Then he goes in. The battery finishes, but the Cybernetic Core is at 8 HP, so the shield battery was a little bit low. But that's okay. I don't mind losing the Cybernetic Core, because I think Bly is completely all in. With, you know, Queens are on the other side of the map. He made so many links on the other side of the map. But what does Bly do? He freaking makes drones behind this. This is not a complete all-in. This is, again, one of the mind games of Bly. And a good play by him, because I already took so much damage in the early game. So he didn't need to go for a complete all-in. In my mind, this guy was on 35 drones right now. In the meantime, he's on 44 with 8 more. And still pressure on my side of the map. Just because how badly the early game went for me. But I think I defend the attack very, very well. I barely lose a thing. I lose a couple of probes. I Cybernetic Score. I clean up 5 queens and a big portion of the army. So I think I'm very, very far ahead. And I'm just a second away from finishing the game. I'm just waiting for charge and +1 to finish for my counter attack. What I don't know, what I don't understand, is that that Bly is on 59 drones. So this is pretty bad for me. But I have a counter attack, which can deal critical damage. But I'm taking my sweet time. I'm just staying here with the Zealots, waiting for another Warpins, waiting for the upgrades to finish, instead of going immediately on the other side of the map, which I think was okay choice, because I still need charge, I still need +1. And, you know, Bly is Bly, so I could get surrounded immediately here with, like, a bunch of Zerglings, and then I would lose these, like, 4 Zealots or 2 Adepts that I had. So I felt more comfortable waiting for the upgrades, and I think it was the right call. But in the meantime, I'm very low on the probe count. Look at my Chrono Boost. Look at my Chrono Boost. 150 energy here, around 50 energy here, around 50 energy here. I have so much Chrono Boost, I don't even have gases taken. I have enough money to take the gases, but of course I'm not taking the gases. I'm not macroing behind this, because in my mind right now, with this counter attack, I can probably win the game. So this is where my all focus comes in. Bly is very nicely doing evolution chambers. Blocks to make sure that he doesn't get fully surrounded by the Zealots, so I just go immediately to the natural base. I even snipe queens on my way here. I feel like this is going freaking fantastic, like this is going lovely. I love my life. I should probably win the game, but now I see roaches starting to pop up. I see the drone count when I was moving here with the Zealots and the Oracles. I saw that's a very healthy drone count. I see fully saturated base here. I see a fully saturated base here. I'm like, hold on a second. Am I not winning? I'm not winning here, am I? So the Zealot counterattack barely gets any drone damage, the roaches start pop off. The Oracles are not finding too much damage. Luckily for me, I lose only 1, but I should not lose a single one. And I didn't even get that many drones killed. The game kind of equalizes because of that, but just now, I'm adding the gases in a robotics facility. This robotics facility should be done already. These gases should be already done and mining happily. It's 8 minutes into the game, but of course the early game was very, very hectic, but it's not like I didn't have the time to put these structures in here. Luckily for me, at least, I had +1 on the Zealots. But after seeing this many roaches, and I just lost my entire army, the supply count is incredibly in favor of Bly. He has a lot of speed roaches. What do I have on the other side of the map? 8 stalkers without blink. So he can just go, counterattack, and attack me without a problem. Because I have nothing to really kill these roaches with. But he backs off, waits for more units. That's not a lot of roaches. He could think I might have blink done or something. So I go on the other side of the map, and this is the first time I see a 4th base. And in my mind, Bly was completely all in. I just completely misunderstood the situation in the game. And the moment I saw the 4th base and, you know, and the drone saturation, and that I didn't get a lot of drone kills, I'm like, holy crap, I am in a lot of trouble in this game, and I completely misplayed my game. So 9 minutes into the game, I'm in like panic mode, and I really don't like where I am at. I see this big roach army with ravagers. I have no sentries, I have no blink, I have no immortals, I have nothing to defend this army with, and I know it's coming very shortly to me. I get some drone damage with the oracles. There's even a freaking swarm host, a single swarm host harassing me in the meantime, in the main base. But yeah, I am expecting this attack to happen, so I'm preparing this with like shield batteries, but I can only produce so many units, you know? I have like 5 gateways, I think, 6 gateways maybe? 5 gateways, so I'm warping in some sentries, but I know I just cannot produce enough army to easily defend the army that Bly is going to be coming at me. So I set up a counterattack with the Zealots just to buy myself a little bit of time, which was fairly successful. I got some drone damage, but again, like my robotics facility bay and robotics facility and robotics bay is so late that it's 9 minutes and 40 seconds. I should already have like a disruptor or two. And I'm not even started a disruptor right now. Now I'm starting it, 9:45, and the Zerg is already coming here. Look at my army, it's tiny, like it doesn't kill anything. I don't even have blink done, because with the Stalkers, what's very important is to be out on the map and try to kill the Zerg army, or at least like whittle down the Zerg army one by one, kill a roach, kill a couple of Zerglings, blink back, heal up, and do it all over again. I couldn't do that because I didn't have blink ready. So Bly just completely goes in, no care into the world, I lose the entire army, and I'm like, this is impossible. Like, I completely misjudged this game. The early game went super bad. I let in 3 times Zerglings into my main base without a problem for the Zerg. I barely did any damage to Bly on the other side of the map, and now I'm 150 supply to 60, and the game goes on for like the next 8 minutes, but the game was already lost here. I just kept microing with like Blink Stalkers, with the Disruptors. I got some couple of big Disruptor shots. It got kinda close later on, but there's really nothing to analyze here. I already lost the game here. So my biggest takeaway from this game is to stay calm, stay collected, and just do your thing. Try not to let the Zerglings in, and you should be fine. But I failed to do so in the game number 1, because I knew this was going to happen. I knew he's going to be aggressive. I knew he's going to be playing Roach Ravager, like Queen Walks, being very, very aggressive. I should be prepared for that. But because I took so much damage in the early game, I was just not prepared. I was completely misjudging this game, especially, and I'm very unhappy about it, because I tend to think that I have a decent game knowledge and like a decent game understanding about the current game state of the game that I'm playing. But in this game, I completely misunderstood. I didn't know how many drones he had. I didn't know if he has enough money to afford an army that is going to be completely destroying me so early on. I just completely misplayed this game, and that's how I lost game number 1. So I think to myself, okay, this is Alkion, and Bly chose this map, so this map has gold bases, so 100% of the time Bly is going to be taking gold base. I immediately knew about it, so I'll try to prepare my game plan for that. And I didn't have that much experience playing against gold bases, because it's a very risky thing to do, and not a lot of Zerg players do that. It's pretty much only like Bly can pull this off, and it's, you know, he's a very difficult player to play against. He's of course a great player, very mind gamey. It's difficult to play against him, and that's why he's so good. And we always have like very close matches. And I think nobody likes to play versus Bly because he's, you know, like so cheesy, so not standard. But that's exactly what makes him a great player. So I immediately knew that at this point that I see no third base here, I see no base here. I go to check for this map layout because he has to like mine these minerals in order to take a gold base. So I immediately go here to check it. I see that this mineral is taken, so he's definitely taking a gold base, and I immediately go here and scout it. I see the gold base. Okay, in my mind right now, I want to do an adept attack, deal the damage in the main base of the Zerg player, because most of the time everybody is going to be focusing on the defense here at the gold base. So my plan is to do some damage in the main base with the 2 adepts. That's the plan I'm going with in this game. I try to do the standard build with Oracle, do it better than in game number 1. I chrono boost out my first adept. I go back with the probe. Of course, Bly is going to be searching around with the Zerglings, and I know he's going to be running around with the Zerglings as well. So I scout around with this adept to see if there are Zerglings here, because they could be going from the gold base. What I didn't take into account is that because they are going for the gold base, it's like they have to go all the way around here. And I made a mistake with movement with this adept, because I was expecting the Zerglings to be here. And I think the timing doesn't really work out that way. The Zerglings could not be here, so they are on the top side of the map, which I should be moving out with my Adept to the top side of the map. So that's my first big mistake. Or it's not like a big mistake, but it's like a first misjudgment in this game. But I am already anticipating the link run by as I'm on the other side of the map with the Adepts, because I know Bly is seeing this and Bly does it every single time. So I go in with the Adept and look how unlucky I am. I go here to the top side of the map. I don't see the Zerglings. It's not like Bly is pulling back these Zerglings whatsoever. It's just the shade finishes the moment the Zerglings are in. Right now they're in my vision. And I don't see them. I am expecting them, but I didn't see them right now. So my timing is like, okay, I have maybe additional 2-3 seconds to pay attention somewhere else. And then the Zerglings are going to be coming in. And then I'll do the planned wall off with a pylon or a gateway to block these links from coming in. That was my plan. So I pay attention to these Adepts. Chronobus out the Oracle. The Zerglings are coming in. And I'm like, holy crap, the timing is like 2-3 seconds earlier. I have nothing to block it with. I'm like, not again, not again. Game number 1 all over again. But at least this time he's more separated because he is on the gold base and the main base only, so there's not a lot of things that he can do. I'm trying to micro my probes as much as possible. I don't lose too many probes. I wall off my my wall in case there are more links coming in, and I do harassment with the Adepts. There's barely any defense here. I kill a couple of drones. But in the meantime, I'm also losing probes, and I have to pull probes against the Zerglings. But in this situation, I should not feel so bad. I defended the links kinda okay, I did some drone damage, and I didn't know. I didn't realize right now how far ahead in terms of worker count I am. It's 31 probes to 17 drones. This is very good for me, and all I need to do is to make sure I don't take any damage, be safe, try not to be overly aggressive. And you can probably set up a third base relatively early because he's probably going to be having only Zerglings and Queens at this point. What I'm a little bit worried about is because of this gold base, I didn't spot it yet, but I already kept that in mind, is that his creep threat is going to be out on the map relatively quickly. But the Adepts in the main base, they did a lot of damage, right? I killed this time 6 drones, he only killed 4 probes. 4 probes too many once again, but of course he does have a gold base, which increases his economy. But I didn't realize how far ahead I was in the probe count. He also made so many more links. It's like 26 links right now. I'm only stuck with 1 Oracle, 1 Adept. So it's not like I can really make a third base right now. I have nothing to protect it with. Even if I made the third base, he would be able to cancel it. So the game kind of continues on. For now, I don't have a plan how to come back into this game. I was super stressed out because, again, the links went into my main base. And I had no idea what to follow it up with. And I know Bly is a very aggressive person. He could be going for a Link Queen attack like he did in the previous game. So I made a Void Ray just in case to clear up some Overlords. I go in with the Oracles. I see no drones in this base. I'm feeling kind of okay. I see how little drones he has here with these Oracles. And now again, take a look at the worker count. 40 to 23. This is super bad for the Zerg. Should be unwinnable for the Zerg, but I completely blanked. I didn't even think about the worker count in here. What I thought about is this Roach Warren that I spotted, the low drone count. So I'm like, okay, this guy has to have a lot of army, so I kind of panicked. I F2'd my Oracles back. I almost got it killed, but it didn't. Luckily, I got to block the wall off, so I don't lose anything here. But I'm fine here. 42 probes to 23 drones. This is an unwinnable game for the Zerg, even though he has a gold base. It should be perfectly fine for me. But I finished the wall off, I finished this pylon, which decreases the amount of time, or increases the amount of time that it takes me to take a third base. In the meantime, just now, I'm starting a Twilight Council in the Forge and the gases. These things should have been done by like the 4th minute already, if I knew exactly what I was doing. But I was so confused about the game and about the attack from Bly that this thing was already delayed by a minute. And in the meantime, Bly is not doing anything else than running around to the Zerglings and making drones. I didn't even manage to get under a drone with these Oracles. So I kill off my pylon and try to take a third base. I'm not taking this base because this is like very close to the goal. There's creep nearby, so I'm trying to take this third base. In the meantime, I'm going for Blink and +1. Blink and +1 has been working very well for me in the previous game after I got basically killed because I was dealing like a lot of damage with the Blink and Disruptor. So this was kind of my idea to go for Blink and Disruptor, because I know what Bly is going to be doing is probably like a Roach Ravager attack into Swarmhost or Mutalisk. It's the only thing that Bly does. I feel very uneasy at this moment, but I kind of remember like I did a lot of damage. I don't feel too bad about this game, but I don't have a general plan how to finish off this game. So I'm kind of worried about how can I win this game, because all I'm thinking about right now is like just surviving rather than trying to win the game. So I send the hallucinations. I see there's a lot of creep spread in the middle of the map. And I'm very worried because I have nothing to clear this creep with. I could use the oracles and the void ray, but it's very, very dangerous. I don't want to lose the energy on the oracles to use revelation, because I probably need them for stasis trap to defend. So I said, okay, F it, YOLO, let's go. I think I did a lot of damage. I have blink and +1 coming up. I can at least retreat with my army. Let's try to test the waters. Let's try to go in the middle of the map and try to deal some damage with blink and +1 and continuous warpins. In the meantime, Bly already droned up and has a lot of army because of that gold base, and I took my sweet time. Remember, this blink should be done like a minute faster, like at 6:40, something like that. So I go in, I see the Ravager, I see the Queens, I'm like, okay, this is safe. I can keep going. In the worst case, I have a recall. Ravagers and Queens don't really kill Blink Stalkers that quickly. But he has more links coming in. He surrounds my Stalkers. I didn't expect this many links. Okay, so I blink back a recall. Like, he also uses the Ravager Biles, and I lose additional set of units. And now I'm like, holy crap, my one attack didn't really work that well. I did no damage whatsoever. I got pushed back super early, despite the damage that I did to the Zerg player in the early game. Now, it's all because of my mistakes. I delayed this attack by a lot, but I just didn't realize in this game state. And once again, similar to game number 1, I completely misjudged the situation about the game state. And I made a wrong decision by moving out on the map, instead of just saturating my gases, taking a 4th base, and taking it slow, taking it easy. But now Bly makes his mistake as well, because he attacks after that, and as we kind of miss each other. I was trying to go and clear the creep in the middle of the map, but he completely counters me with his army. I didn't really mind this engagement that much. I had a lot of units. The worst part was that I lost a couple of pros, but I didn't lose that many. I had Oracles on top of Ravagers, I have a Void Ray. This is looking fine for me. I blinked forward on top of the Ravager, but there were more linked reinforcements. And I actually lost a lot of Stalkers there, but the trade was kind of even. And I realized that at this point in the game, the gold is starting to mine out somewhat slowly. So I didn't mind. I thought I'm okay in this game. I thought I'm ahead, because I just cleared up the entire army of the Zerg. I have a 3rd base saturated. Unlike in the previous game, I am safe at the 3rd base. I am currently in no danger of actually dying in this game. I also have a faster Disruptor, learning from my mistakes. I have a counterattack with a Warpism on the other side of the map. But now I see Swarm Hosts are already ready, and I feel... I hate Swarm Hosts. They are very... like they're the skill check unit. If you're a good player, you should never lose to Swarm Hosts. But because I was feeling a lot of stress in this game already, and I kind of didn't really understand the game state that we are in, I felt uneasy when I saw these Swarm Hosts. But I have a counterattack with the Zealots, which I know that that Bly is not going to have anything against, because simply I just cleared up his main army here, right? And there are Swarm Hosts here, so his army is going to be out of position. So at least I will get some damage with the Zealots. In the meantime, Swarm Hosts still land in my main base and kill 8 probes. From here, I hate my life! I hate my life! I just didn't think that he's going to be... like, the Locust can, you know, go from here to here and still kill 8 probes. I would just pull back these probes if I just take that into consideration. That would be plus 8 probes I could be working with. But in the meantime, Bly is defending the Warpism. I did no damage whatsoever. And now Bly as a Zerg is dealt more probe damage than me as a Protoss. In the meantime, I'm trying to clear the creep in the middle of the map. I see a big amount of roaches. I see the Swarm Host. I'm like, okay, this is not so bad. I still have the 3rd base saturated, you know. But I should be thinking about the 4th base. It's 10 minutes into the game. I try to defend against the Swarm Host with the Zealots and the Stalkers. I know the Swarm Hosts are going to be going this way. I traced some units here. In the meantime, I cleared some creep. And Bly does Bly things. He just goes Spire. Even though he sees multiple Blink Stalkers, 17 Blink Stalkers, he just goes Spire. Because that's perfectly the logical thing to do. But I'm taking my sweet time to take a 4th base. This 4th base should be already done. But to be honest, I think I should have taken this base. There's no reason for me to take the base that is further away from me. Because even if I secure this base, it's harder for me to defend. This area is like completely, like extremely hard for me to defend. And I don't have a set of batteries or cannons here. If I have this base, at least I have an area around here to make a battery, you know, blink back the stalkers, and I can defend the swarm host rather comfortably. This should be the fourth base that I should be going for instead of this one. I don't know why I did that. I never take this fourth base, and for some reason in a tournament match when I'm 1-0, I just make a freaking mistake, and I take this fourth base instead of this one. Not sure if this would immediately change the course of the game, but this fourth base should already be done. I have an army to fight against his, to be honest. I have a lot of Blink Stalkers, I have Blink, I have Disruptors. There's no way that Bly can break me right here. So I trade very efficiently here versus his army, and this is like the first actual big victory for me, where I clean up his entire army, barely losing anything. If we take a look at the resources lost, it's 8,800 to 7,100, so this is like a first good trade for me. In the meantime, he's actually borrowing his roach, which is a very smart thing to do, because it buys him enough time. What I could do right now is just go for a pure counterattack. I just cleared up his entire army. I have quite a lot of gateways, 8 gateways, sorry. But I don't have a fourth base. And right now, I'm like, okay, I should probably not counterattack, because I should be taking a fourth base. But then I see these Mutalisks, so many Mutalisks. I'm like, okay, there's no way he has a lot of army, right? So I just recall like a portion of my army. I know I have a ready warp in just a moment to defend this small amount of Mutalisks, and then I go counterattack with the Stalkers. But again, I misjudge the situation in the game. I kill a lot of these Mutalisks, I'm like, alright, this is fine. I cleared up his entire army, I am defending the Mutalisks. There's no way he has a secondary army here waiting for me, so I just press forward with the Stalkers. In the meantime, I'm freaking 54 probes, 11 minutes into the game, with 4th base not even halfway done. This should be done already. Remember, this should be done. It's not even started. God damn it. So I press forward with the Stalkers. I lose my Observer to the Spore, because why not? I blink forward for God knows what reason. I blink forward all my Stalkers and I get myself surrounded by the Zerglings. In the meantime, I have perfectly deflected the Mutalisks, but Mutalisks are much faster, so he can just combine this army, his main army with the Mutalisks, and surround these Stalkers. Why do I even blink? Why am I an idiot and blink on top of Zerg when I don't know where his army is? It just doesn't make any sense. Why do I do that? So I get fully surrounded. I don't have a recall because I had a recall 5 Stalkers just a while ago. I don't lose too many Stalkers, but that was a terrible, terrible trade for me. And I lose more stuff. Right now, I'm resources lost more than the Zerg. And in the meantime, he's also harassing me with the Swarm House, so it takes my attention away from defending the Mutalisk, and the Mutalisk go into the main base. I lose a couple of probes, additional probes, and then more harassment coming in here. And this is the thing. Because these bases are so far away from each other, 4 bases here, I have they're all in a line, right, away from each other. So it's very hard to maneuver my army against Mutalisk, against like a mobile army, which is Link, Roach, and Mutalisk. I cannot be in a one position with my entire army, because I'm just too split up, even though I'm trying my best. So I don't take any damage, but again, 54 probes, barely any economy. Meanwhile, Zerg is on 4 bases, well 5 bases, but this is like fully mined out. My 4 base is just about to get saturated. 13 minutes into the game. 13 minutes into the game, I'm just considering saturating my 4th base. It's super, super late. In the meantime, Bly is floating 2,000, 1,000 minerals. And I still haven't dealt with the Mutalisk. Any kind of aggression that I did was not possible. I just completely misunderstood the economical situation of the Zerg and what I can and cannot do. I made so many errors in these games that I tend to not do, simply because of the peer pressure that Bly was putting on me. And this is what the great players do, you know, they force mistakes on you. Because he's also making some mistakes. I'm like, okay, maybe this time for counterattack. I deflected the Mutas, I deflected the Roaches, I have Archons versus the Mutalisks. Maybe it's time for me to move out. Maybe it's a good thing, because I didn't see his entire Roach army here. This amount of Roaches was actually unspotted by me. But now, I'm going to be seeing this. Because I'm preparing like a flank, because I knew he's going to have like a link run by army or something like that. So I see these Roaches with the Disruptor. I'm like, okay, this is perfect opportunity. I can do a big Disruptor shot, because he's probably not watching. But right now, I think I'm kind of all in. Because my 4th base is super, like, weak, right? I have barely any probes in my natural, no mining whatsoever. The Mutas are still flying around, but I only saw these Mutalisks. This amount of Mutalisks, like, I don't know, 9 or 8 or something. Bly has 25 of them. I didn't see all of them. Where's the 25? I think they're just hatching right now. Doesn't matter. It's about this attack right now. So I go in, I see this Roach attack. I'm like, holy crap, this is good. This is his entire army. So I try to do like a preemptive disruptor shot because I thought he's going to be pulling back these Roaches. But he just goes in for the Archon, for the right trade, so he micros it better than me. I lose a precious Archon, which is very, very important for me versus Mutalisks, which he's of course making. And I'm not protecting these Archons with a War Prism because I decided to make a freaking disruptor shot. That didn't even do anything. So I press forward. I think, okay, this is good. He's pulling back. And now I see this flock of Mutalisks. I didn't see this. I'm like, holy crap, what do I do right now? I recall. What is my... What do I achieve with a recall? This is too many Mutalisks for me to handle with a split army like that. My only chance in this game right now is to just attack and hope for the best. It's still a bad situation for me because there's just so many Mutalisks. And I don't have like a lot of defenses, but I'm already at his base. There is no better opportunity for me to try to win a game against mass Mutalisks than just attacking right now. But what do? I freaking recall. Not even enough units to fight these Mutalisks. So he just easily trades a couple of Mutas for Stalkers. He goes a Sentry, kills the Stalkers, and the rest of the army is pulling back. And I'm not gaining anything with this recall. He still deals damage with the Mutalisks. And there's just a complete moron to recall like that. Because, sure, I probably would have still lost this game if I didn't recall. Probably. This is a big army. I was still in a bad position. But still, I made so many wrong choices in this series that it was just mind-blowing to me how bad I can be at StarCraft. I just GG out right now because I know there's nothing that I can do. That recall was a terrible decision. And in these 2 games that I played versus Bly, I just realized I am a terrible StarCraft player from time to time. And I completely misjudged the situation in both of these games, pretty much throughout the entire game. I didn't have one right call that I did in this series, and I rightfully deserve to lose this game. There was nothing that I did right in this series, other than maybe like the other harassment against the gold base, and I was like, I need a good probe count versus the drone count. But my follow-ups were non-existent. Everything that I did in these games was wrong. And I felt genuinely furious after this series because I know I can do better. These mistakes don't happen that often to me, but of course they had to happen in tournament. And Bly is just, one of those players that really forces these mistakes on you. So I was quite upset about that. But yeah, that's just me trying to vent against, for you guys. I'm sorry about being like quite emotional in this series, but I just didn't realize I'm so bad at StarCraft from time to time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little analysis of the video, and hopefully you guys will cheer for me in the ESL Winter Masters Regionals. This was just the first series of the day. There's still more series to go. You need 3 wins to advance and 3 losses to be knocked out. I'm currently 0 wins, 1 loss in the league, so it's just a start. Hopefully I'll be able to fix those mistakes. And yeah, I'm quite passionate about StarCraft, and hopefully I'll be able to do better in the next series. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next episode of whatever I upload. Have a good one. Bye-bye.